Every morning, we rise, ready to meet our human potential, to take that next incremental step, to do the hard work that changes. Set in our preparedness and confidence in that moment when you know, I've got this. And then we rise. Each of us, all of us. We rise as passions coalesce in research, art, athletics, and beyond. We rise to the challenge of inquiry and discovery through undergraduate research and hands-on learning. We rise through the personal attention of a small college, fueled by large university resources. We rise to the need for listening across differences, teaching the art and the act of conversation. We rise to the sounds of a vibrant, diverse, and culturally rich city, and we reflect it. At Trinity University, we recognize that you are here because you are ready to rise. And through a love of learning and a life of learning, we will challenge you to always reach beyond the horizon. Because your future awaits.
On center day, it is volleyball that takes center stage finally. Trinity University versus Center College in one of many SAA rematches as the Tigers go to the second rotation of conference play. I'm Reed Rosales, joined by Jade Schoenberger. And Jade, last time these two teams play, it wasn't necessarily all that close, but the Tigers dealing with some shakeups in the lineup. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, a couple injuries on the Tiger side, so you'll see some new faces in some new places. You got Bryn Bishop kicking things off. She'll be playing back row for Marissa Drange, most likely. A tip here, Josie Dare going to Watley on the outside cross court, and that'll be the first point here in set one. Yeah, like you mentioned, Tigers executed really well against Center in the original matchup. They went 25-19, 25-7, and then 25-17. Saw some new faces in that match, so we'll see if anyone gets opportunities today that aren't in this original starting lineup. Right side swing here is blocked, and that is going to go to the Tigers. No touch on the block, so that one going into the top tape. Bryn Bishop going back for her third.
It was a weekend for Center that did not go well for them. 0-3 in the opening weekend. Looking to scratch a win against the Tigers. Setting through the middle, but it is an overswing. Point for Trinity. They are off to the races once again. Center trying not to fall too far behind. They rarely had the lead in their first match against the Tigers. Another serve from Bishop. Pushing it. And that'll be a tool kill for number 19. That's Sid Beats. Junior out of Versailles, Kentucky. Leads the team in kills. Could not get going against the Tigers last time. Was swinging in debt. So they'll need to get her going if they want a chance to win this one.
Yeah, in the original matchup, Tigers just executed really almost perfectly. Almost hit 400 as a team, whereas Center couldn't quite get to that 100 mark. Another swing there from Beats will score, so that'll be Center's second point. Looking for another to tie things up. But Trinity looking for a quick side out here. It's going to be Bishop, Lanik, and Watley in the serve-receive rotation. Three solid options for the Tigers. Ball is up, and Lanik with the initial pass. Out of the middle, Taylor Starr is dug up by Panel. A middle tip is picked up. A little bit of a scramble here. The Tigers will go to Pope. Out of the back row. Center is picked up by Bishop. Tight ball, but saved. A set over the net and out. Unforced error will be a quick side out for the Tigers, and that'll push the score to 4-2.
Brings Laura McCarthy into the match. Switching out for Taylor Starr. Take her place in the middle position. Serve from Annabelle Lanik, wearing the libero jersey. Strong serve, keeps it in the back part of the court, but a kill will be gotten by Center, as they won't go away just yet. Double substitution for the Colonels. That's number 10 and number 11. That's Maya Kondik and Olivia Chojnacki entering this match. Didn't see Kondik in the first match against Trinity, so a new face for the Tigers that they're seeing. Serve from Chojnacki. First touch by Lanik. They'll push over to Reagan Watley. Strong swing, but picked up. Beats will get the kill. Sid Beats, a lot of power behind that arm. Knots things up at 4 apiece. Another serve coming up for Olivia Chojnacki. First touch by Watley, it's a good one. Push back, strong swing, and that one will almost go into Tiger Bites. Almost put some ketchup and mustard on that ball. Double substitution for the Tigers. They go up 5-4. Connolly McWilliams entering the match alongside Anna Verhoff, freshman out of Milton, Georgia. A player that's going to have a much bigger workload on her shoulders today.
Yeah, she did see some playing time when they originally faced Center in that win, so hopefully that fuels some encouragement there on the court. Cross-court swing will score. Quick side out for the Colonels. It's going to push back Beats. It's going to be Christopher now on the front outside for Center. Tigers looking for a side out here. Low floats passed up by Annabelle Lanik. Going to Watley on the outside. Cross court's picked up. Opportunity here on the right side. Down the line will score. Center doing a pretty solid job of working both lines. Saw Beats kind of turning the ball line a couple of times, and there's another one there on the right side. Center now in the lead by 1.
Serve from Beats. Handled by the Tigers. They have to tip it over, though. Goes to the net. Center won't save it. It's a point for Trinity. Thought maybe a little bit of trouble on the initial attack from the Tigers, but center could not scramble together a response. Serve from Watley. Pushing it to the middle. It is out. Was there a touch? No, there wasn't. Point for Trinity. Going to Abby Swartz out the middle. No go.
Solid court awareness there by Watley in the back row, kind of dodging that one. And that serve just a little bit too long, so center will tie things up at 7.
Mac Turner will re-enter into the middle position for center. And back to serve is Riley Barnes with her unique service routine. Dribbles the ball at the same location of the court. It takes the exact same amount of steps every time. And she'll get an ace for it, so we'll get to see it again. You don't mess with what works when it comes to your service routine. Anything slightly off, it throws it off. Center up 8-7. But it's ultimately a wash, an error for an ace. Taylor Starr back in the middle. McCarthy back to serve.
Both teams starting pretty solid. Tigers with a little bit better of a hitting percentage. We've seen center get a little bit mixed up at the net with some overpasses. Outside swing by Christopher is picked up. Marissa Drange on the outside. She'll get blocked and no coverage there. So a quick side out for the Colonels.
Yeah, interesting faces and interesting places. The McCarthy serve is something that we haven't seen a lot. And being in the back row in general.
Yeah, definitely have seen Taylor Starr execute in terms of middle serving for the Tigers for the most part this season. Tigers looking for a side out here. Watley with the pass. Holly McWilliams goes cross court. A little bit of a scramble here. It'll result in a free ball. Initial ball is up by Taylor Starr. Conley McWilliams is dug. Christopher on the outside goes cross court. A touch from Annabelle Landick, but the Tigers unable to get that second touch.
Good start for the duo that entered for center. That was Maddie Winfield, the setter. She entered in with Holly Tate, who's been heating up in this part of the season. Serve from Winfield. First touch by Watley. Shanks it a bit. It results in a free ball for the Colonels. Swing out of the middle. It's a kill for center. They go up by 3. 11-8. We'll see how long before the Tigers use a timeout. Usually about the gap where they're thinking about calling one.
Yeah, not a terrible start from the Tigers, but we're just seeing maybe a little bit of a struggle on defense. Some digs that are just not putting up solid opportunities for second touches. Nice swing out of the back row there, right on that back line. Tough ball to defend. That'll be another center point. Tigers really just needing to put one ball here to the floor to regain some momentum. With that, Julie Jenkins will use her first timeout. Going into the timeout, center leading 12-8 here in set 1. So far, not a terrible start by either team, but Tigers struggling a little bit, as mentioned, with defense here. Just needing to get up a nice, settable ball so they can run their offense.
It's not only that, but center has been playing very good defense as well. Not a lot has fallen for Trinity. The center leading that digs category by a considerable amount early on in the match. And you've got Sid Beats, who is hitting perfect, 6 for 6. When you have a player hitting perfect, you need to find a way to stop them, to say the least. At least make it so they're not hitting 1,000.
Yeah, like you mentioned, a player that didn't really get going in their original matchup. She went 5 for 21 with 4 errors, so she hit under 50 in their last match, but currently hitting 1,000, which is pretty excellent. We'll see if she can maintain that over the course of the match, or if Trinity defensively can put up maybe a stronger block up against her when she gets back to the front row. Pretty solid execution overall, but Julie Jenkins does have some great success with her timeout calls, so hopefully out of the timeout, Tigers get a quick side out and a string of points here.
It's a tough position for the young setter Verhoff. You watch volleyball just because someone you know is on the team and maybe you're not too experienced. It is the equivalent to the quarterback in football. You're deciding where everything goes. And for a freshman, that is a tough ask at any level of volleyball.
At the timeout, ball is up. A deep flow is passed up by Atlantic. Going to Drange on the outside cross court, and they will score. So a quick side out of the timeout. It's definitely the point that the Tigers were looking for, and they will sub Josie Dare and Courtney Pope back onto the court for their 6-2 rotation.
It's certainly a match where Trinity will be looking to their pin players to really show up when the lineup is a little out of whack, to say the least. Dayer serve. Causes a bit of trouble. It's thrown up. Attack will be made by Christopher, but a block is shown. Good job from Courtney Pope and Taylor Starr coming together to stop that attack. 10-12. Trinity gaining some momentum.
Dare back to serve again. A nice float is passed up. A little bit of a scramble once again. It'll result in a free ball opportunity for the Tigers. Drange will take that initial touch and they'll run Courtney Pope on the right side. A dig that goes over, touched by Watley. Taylor Starr is a tip to the middle of the court. A scramble, will they get it over? They will, but it will be out. Nice hustle there by the Colonels, but the Tigers now one away from tying things up at 12.
Trinity looking a lot more comfortable out of the timeout. Another Dayer serve. Oh, just barely out, barely out. So a sigh of relief for center. Dayer had been giving them trouble. Brings back Kendra Christopher to serve, the freshman out of Danville, Kentucky, hometown kid.
With Christopher back row, it's going to be Beats back in the front. Again, we'll see if she can maintain her perfect hitting percentage. That serve in the net, so quick side out for the Tigers. Tigers, again, down by just 1 here. It's going to be Bryn Bishop subbing in for Marissa Drange back row. So we'll have Reagan Watley, Taylor Starr, and Courtney Pope in the front row for this Tiger squad. 3 great options, along with Josie Dare. Back there to set. Right side, cross court. Quite the shot by Tate.
Abby Swartz back in the middle for the Colonels. Back to serve is Riley Snowden, the other player who wears that libero jersey for the Kerns. Sophomore out of Nicholasville, Kentucky. Serve ball handled by the Tigers. Back set, the swing from Courtney Pope. Trinity still down by 1, but center trying to shake them as much as they can. Just can't avoid the Tigers. McCarthy back in the middle, and Atlantic back to serve.
Yeah, points going back and forth pretty much since that initial timeout called by Coach Jenkins. And Atlantic here goes real deep, potentially out, but it's passed up. Off the top tape, will score. Beats once again on the outside. It's going to push. Double substitution here for the Colonels. Trinatsky and Connick on the right side subbing in.
Will be Choynatsky to serve. And she'll serve it a bit too long. Trinity's down by 1, but gets the freebie. Anna Verhoff and Connolly McWilliams both coming in. Connolly McWilliams having a very strong weekend at that SAA Megapod. Her worst hitting performance, a 350. Her best hitting performance, over 700.
Pretty solid for a right side, executing only in 3 rotations. Watley is blocked. Good coverage by Bryn Bishop. Lauren McCarthy blocked. Solo block by Swartz there. The Colonels are excited about that one. Center still with a 2-point lead here.
Yeah, a little middle blocker on middle blocker violence there. Kern still leading. Verhoff pushing it to Watley. That'll be a tool kill for Reagan Watley. Marissa Drange re-enters, joins the front row. It'll be Watley to serve. Tigers trying to find that tying point, but it's not going to be this one. Some ill-timed service errors, but there hasn't really been a lot of them for Trinity so far. They're looking for their first ace. They're a tough serving team, and it'll bring back Riley Barnes to serve. Freshman out of Bourbon County, Kentucky. It's a tough serve. Drange can't keep it alive. Try not to crash into the stands or the chair over there. So that is another service ace for Riley Barnes. Did the same thing last time she was up. Try not to repeat her performance because the next serve was a service error. We'll touch off the top of the tape. Close set to the net. First attack is blocked. Be a free ball for the Kerns. Quick set to the middle, and that'll be down for the kill. So now center up by 4, 19-15.
Yeah, Tigers got caught in these couple rotations here last time around. Hoping to cut the lead, and there we go. Marissa Drange off the block, pushes that one through, so side out that the Tigers were needing. It's going to send Lauren McCarthy back to serve with Taylor Starr stepping back on.
Emerson Panel re-enters the match for center.
Tigers down by 3, so definitely needing to string together some points. Passed up by Christopher. Right side swing, cross court, passed up by Watley. Marissa Drange on the outside will mix in a tip. That's dug up by Christopher. Out of the back row, Beats will throw over a tip. Drange picking that one off Verhoff. Drange saving it. A dump, and that'll score. First dump that we've seen in the match. And that one will go to Tronatsky. And center will be the first to 20. So just needing 5 more points here in set 1. Tigers needing to do a little bit of catch-up here towards the end.
Timeout, Tigers. Wanting to talk things over is head coach for Trinity, Julie Jenkins. Last time they came out of the timeout, they got very close, but they never took back the lead from the Colonels. It has just been center constantly leading them. Center hitting very well, 320 right now. Much better than any of the sets they hit last time in San Antonio. Trying to avenge a couple losses that the other center teams took in San Antonio. Women's soccer, Trinity won 2-0, and men's soccer, Trinity won 5-0. So looking for a bit of vengeance for their other sports compatriots. But just a good start for center overall. Trinity, I think it's, as you said, Jay, they're not playing poorly, but there's just some things that aren't falling their way right now.
Yeah, we saw the Tigers just really execute exceptionally when it came to that hitting percentage in the last matchup. So far, we do have some players hitting above 300. We got Watley, Pope, and Drange all hitting above 300, but we're looking to get our middles possibly going as they're both hitting 0, I believe.
And another thing to point out is center's been in system quite a bit. I think that comes with when you're 2 players down, that were also some of your toughest servers behind the service line. There's a lot more attacks than center cleanly got off in their first match.
Definitely. Initial pass out of the timeout by Watley. They're going to go to Starr. Starr will tip one over. A little bit of a mistouch there. It's going to result in a down ball. Annabelle Lanik taking the first touch. Taylor Starr will put that one to the floor. Right out of the timeout, Tigers will take the point, and that'll push their double substitution with Josie Dare and Courtney Pope subbing back in.
And this is what Trinity needs. They need to show that they have the depth to compete still. Is what great teams do. They are back to serve. Take her usual time. Oh, but it's in the net. Again, another ill-timed service error for the Tigers. 4 service errors, and it feels like all of them have come at inopportune moments.
Yeah, tough luck for sure, but Tigers still want to push a lot of points here in these 3 rotations with Josie Dare and Courtney Pope in the lineup. Save here by Annabelle Lanik. Mistiming there out of the middle. A block.
And now we're going to have a conversation because one of the line officials signaled an antenna.
Yeah, line judges being called up just to confirm, was the antenna moving from the ball off of the block or off of the initial swing? Or perhaps someone in the net. Either way, call's going to stand as expected. Tiger point.
You can see there on the replay. It's like off the swing, so say they got it right.
Good call, and that's going to be Bryn Bishop back to serve. Tigers still down, current score 21-18, center up. Great hustle there by Beats. Will keep the ball in play with that free ball. Courtney Pope off the block, and she'll score.
So Tigers not out of it yet. Timeout called by head coach Patrick Robidoux. Center takes their first timeout of the set. Certainly been an interesting first rotation for the Tigers in SAA play. They currently are a perfect 6-0 in conference. Top 6 teams make the SAA tournament. 8 teams in conference, so bottom 2 get dropped. Trinity very far away from that. Right now it is kind of a tiered system in the conference where you have Trinity, Barry, and Southwestern at the top, and then kind of just everyone else below them. So for Center, any win over that top tier means quite a bit for their chances at the SAA tournament.
Yeah, a win for Center here would be a great look. Trinity currently 6-0 in conference, 12-3 overall, coming off of a win streak of 6. Whereas the Colonels, 10-7, 3-4 in conference, and they just lost to ETBU. The Tigers also lost to ETBU this season. So definitely looking to come out with a win. Obviously, the Tigers want to win as well. Their hitting percentage increasing since that last time out, and definitely in a good position here with the folks on the court. Again, Josie Dare and Courtney Pope, 2 solid players out there in this 6-2 rotation, with Bryn Bishop back to serve.
Out of the timeout. Quick set out of the middle is going to be a kill. Dare just couldn't control it. 19-22, Center scores out of the timeout. They're 3 away from taking the first set. It's Riley Snowden to serve for the Kerns. Lanik having to dive to receive it. First attack by Watley, handled well by Christopher. Beats. Offhand approach, works like a charm. Tigers are forced to send over a free ball. Great hustle from them. And a solo block by Reagan Watley. Makes it 20-22. Man, what an effort from Reagan Watley. That was quite the leap, and quite the quick setup too.
Great press by Watley, but great hustle by Annabelle Lanik to keep that ball even in play. It's going to be Annabelle Lanik back to serve. That one's passed up by Christopher Beats on the outside. Will turn down the line, but Bryn Bishop is there. Reagan Watley on the outside, off of the block. Once again, she will score, and the Tigers are just down by 1 point here. So definitely in a better position to potentially take this first set. Pressure is definitely on. And the Tigers will look to Lanik behind the service line. Cross court, it's passed up. Out of the middle, a tip is kept on the Colonel's side. So the Tigers will tie things up at 22 apiece.
All twos on the scoreboard. Atlantic trying to get the Tigers the lead for the first time in a while in this first set. Serve handled well. They push it to Beats. Strong swing, and it's a tool kill for Sid Beats. Overwhelming kill leader for the Colonels. Gets her 8th.
Quick ask, just double checking how many subs they have left. They will push forward with their 6-2 subs. Janotsky and Kondik subbing in for the Colonels. Center up by 1, current score 23-22. Tigers looking for a side out here. Passed up by Watley. She'll get that ball back on the outside, going cross court off the block. She'll score.
Anna Verhoff and Connolly McWilliams back on the court for Trinity in that double substitution. Crunch time for the Tigers. Big moment for Verhoff. In a situation where you are likely on the court when this set ends. Verhoff serve. Handled well by the Colonels. First attack, maybe not set where they were expecting. Swing from Reagan Watley, and that'll be a kill. Just a little miscue from center. The set a little too high, made that attack very easy to pick up. Timeout center. Trinity is now at set point.
Yeah, the pressure is definitely on. Center's still definitely in a position where they could come out of this timeout, get the point, tie things up at 24, and continue to push forward in this first set. Definitely feels like the momentum is in the hands of the Tigers, coming back from that deficit late in this first set. But we'll see. Anybody set? Tigers are looking good, playing a little bit cleaner out there, executing really well, especially on the outside with Watley in the front row. With Verhoff and Connolly McWilliams on the court, these have been the 3 rotations that the Tigers have struggled with a little bit more than the others in terms of the 6-2 rotation, but Verhoff putting up a nice settable ball to Watley in that last play. Center will be the first back onto the court after calling that timeout.
These are important moments for Verhoff because after this year, Josie Dare graduates, and the Tigers will have a hole in their 6-2 rotation, one that Verhoff extremely likely to fill. So it's moments like these when you do get that opportunity, get yourself set up for next year.
Absolutely. The depth of this Tiger squad, we've mentioned it time and time again, but really solid players coming in and doing their best to execute out there. And this is an opportunity, as you mentioned, for Verhoff. Pressure is on behind the service line. She gets that one in. Beats on the outside. Off the block. She will get that side out for center. Tied up 24-24. Tigers have struggled a little bit in this serve-receive rotation.
It'll be Beats back to serve. Serve handled well. Push to Watley. Swing doesn't get down. Close to the net. It's an overpass. Bump set. Watley swings again. It's kept on the Tigers' side. Still in the air, but that'll be it. Center at set point now. Quite the turnaround for the Kerns. Tigers had the favorable position, but a great setup by center to block it back. Another serve from Beats. First touch by Lanik. Pushing to Watley. That'll be a kill. Magic number turns to 27. It'll be Watley back to serve. Marissa Drange joins the court up front for the Tigers.
Solid execution from Watley, assuming that was her last showing in the front row, hitting above 300 currently. Out of the middle of block. Tigers will keep the ball alive, barely. Anna Milana gets it somehow over. Outside blocked. Man, what a point. Great hustle there from Lanik, just laying out one arm, just getting that barely over the tape. Tigers in a position here to take this first set. Tight pass is saved. Kept on the Colonel's side. Tip is thrown over. Tigers will go to Connolly McWilliams, who will turn and burn. Tigers will take the first set. 27 to 25.
Yeah, after that play by Lanik, it felt like all the momentum just went to Trinity's side. They were not going to be denied that set one victory. Much closer set than any of the sets were in the first match against these two sides. Very entertaining volleyball all around, and Trinity's hitting percentage climbing up to 314. They've been really clicking now.
Yeah, center definitely executing much, much better than the original matchup between these squads. Beats really coming out and showing out. 9 for 14 thus far, so really a great start. Again, we'll see if she can continue that momentum throughout the match. They're definitely looking to her as she is the most kills by far. On the Tiger side, you have Reagan Watley, 6 for 13, hitting above 300. Courtney Pope, 3 for 5. Again, only in those 3 rotations for their 6-2 rotation. Overall, points going back and forth. Maybe not the best start that we've seen from the Tiger squad, but again, they have a starting lineup that maybe isn't their most traditional starting lineup with a couple of injuries on that squad. But overall, a great start, specifically from Anna Verhoff, the freshman setter who's getting to start in this match right off the jump with Kendall DeRavel with an injury there. We'll see if she can maybe put up more assists in her 3 rotations more consistently. We saw Josie Dare and Courtney Pope really executing well, kind of having to claw back every time they went in on the court for that first set. But the momentum is definitely in the Tigers' hands, and we'll see if they can maybe start the second set a little bit stronger.
The big step up for center. That first match was one to forget against the Tigers. First time through conference play. Trinity had several SAA teams play their worst match of the year against them. Center being one of them, hit a season low 86, and it is the only match where they did not throw up a single successful block. Trinity just hit through everything. Tigers, meanwhile, threw up 10 blocks against the Colonels first time around. It was an opening weekend that Coach Robidoux described just not putting the best foot forward, and that the SAA Megapod was a very nice bounce back for them. They went 2-1. They're coming off of their most recent conference match was a win against Sewanee. And, you know, top 6 teams make it. Right now, at the bottom of the conference, Oglethorpe, they're kind of struggling to gain traction, so it's kind of just avoid being the first team out. Center kind of, I'd say, a level above number 5 and 6 right now, which would be Sewanee and Rhodes. But still, they're wanting to prove themselves. It was a much better set this time around. Trinity, I mean, it is what you come to expect from them. Even when they're down, they are never truly out of any set. Even though they didn't lead for a majority of the first set, they still won it. They still came back.
Yeah, definitely great composure for that Trinity squad out there. Even when they were down, which was a majority, like you mentioned, of the set, still looked really confident. We're communicating well. You could hear Watley commanding her team. It's looking like the same lineups for the most part for both squads. It's going to be Josie Dare and Courtney Pope starting for the 6-2 rotation on Trinity's side, with Taylor Starr and Lauren McCarthy in the middle. Reagan Watley will start in the front, and Bryn Bishop will start in the back. Bryn Bishop most likely subbing out for Marissa Drange once again. It's going to be Annabelle Lanik to step on in the libero jersey. Tigers also suiting up Lolo Joes, but haven't seen her quite yet. And to kick off this second set will be Christopher for the Colonels. If you were just now tuning in, Tigers took the first set 27-25 in a set that really went back and forth with points. Ball's up, and Annabelle Lanik with the initial pass. It's going to be Watley on the outside, throws over a roll shot. That's picked up. Right side tip. Dug up miraculously there by Lanik and thrown over. A block will be the first point of this second set. Great layout there from Annabelle Lanik to get that ball over the net and keep it in play. She'll send herself back to serve.
Serve from Lanik. Causes some troubles for the Colonels. They get an attack off, but much too tame. Bumped up for Reagan Watley. Strong swing. Great dig by Panel. Pushed out to Beats, gets blocked. Trinity goes toe-to-toe with the hottest hitter center has. And they've stopped her 2 times now. 2-0 advantage.
Yeah, the Colonels are going to struggle if they continue to set low and tight for their outsides because, man, the Trinity block is pretty big on that pin. Out of the middle, Annabelle Lana keeping the ball in play. It's going to be the Tigers getting caught in the net.
They're going to call McCarthy in the net. So 2-1, center gets a point off of a mistake by the Tigers. Riley Snowden serving. They are racing over to set it. Swing from Watley is down. Ball took an interesting path, but ultimately back under the net. 3-1, Trinity leads. Anna Verhoff and Connolly McWilliams re-enter the match for the Tigers for the first time in this second set. Verhoff to serve.
Yeah, nice hustle there by Josie Dare on that last set. Pretty much covering the full width of the court there to get that one up for Watley. Tough initial pass here is going to result in a free ball, almost. A little bit of a miscommunication there between Christopher and Beats. So that ball will fall from forced error. It's going to send Anna Verhoff back for another. Tigers currently in the lead, 4-1 here in this second set.
That's a tough serve. Free ball for the Tigers. Verhoff pushing it to Watley. Strong swing from Watley, kept in the air by the Kerns. Contested at the net, put back down by Trinity. Down ball sent over by the Colonels. Connolly McWilliams swings, but good defense by center. Great dig from Bishop, but the Tigers can't keep it alive on the second touch. Good back and forth from both sides. Center comes out on top ultimately. Double substitution for them brings it on Maya Kondik and Olivia Chojnacki, who's heading back to serve.
Yeah, great hustle, great defense on both sides there. Colonel struggling a little bit with serve receive out the gate here in this second set. We'll see if the Tigers can serve receive well, and they do with Watley initial touch. A slide from Laura McCarthy. The block can't press hard enough, so that one's going to fall on the Colonel's side. It's going to be Watley back to serve with Marissa Drange subbing in on the outside.
Now went off Elise Grundy, who was then looking for where the ball went, but it was behind her. Chojnacki pushing. Another block for the Tigers off of Sid Beats again. The block has shown up in force for the Tigers in this second set. Watley quick to serve. Push it to Beats. Sid Beats will have herself a kill. Maybe thinking finally.
Yeah, definitely a good look from Beats there. Hit that seam well with Lauren McCarthy being a little bit late to get out to that pin. It's going to be Beats back to serve for the Colonels. Ball's up, passed up by Lanik. Lauren McCarthy out of the middle. And that swing is wide. Coach Jenkins looking pretty surprised, thinking that that one was in. Tigers still in the lead, 6-4. So still a solid opportunity for the Tigers to advance their lead. Passed up by Lanik. McWilliams is blocked, no coverage there. Center now one away from tying things up at 6.
So a good bounce back for the Colonels. Sid Beats back to serve again. Second set looked to be Trinity's, but now center saying not so fast. Back row attack from Watley. It's a block off the back row attack that the Tigers have been so successful at. 6-6, it's all tied up here in the second set. 4-0 scoring run for the Colonels. Another serve from Beats. Good eyes, barely out. Very close, but ultimately a freebie for Trinity. Taylor Starr back in the match in the middle position. McCarthy back to serve. Trinity running the middle, Elise Grundy, and that'll be a kill for Grundy. Tigers can't cover despite the touch up front. Is Mac Turner back in the middle for center, and Riley Barnes will be back to serve. Back for the ball at the position she starts her service routine every time.
Barnes with a couple aces on the board already. Passed up by Drange. A tip from Starr. A little bit of a scramble there at the net. It's going to be outside opportunity, blocked up. Taylor Starr keeping the ball alive. Conley McWilliams going cross court, and she will not score. Another opportunity, cross court, and she will score. Great hustle there from center. Getting that initial swing from McWilliams back over. And great job on Trinity going right back to her. It's going to push a double substitution for the Tigers. Josie Dare and Courtney Pope back on.
Panel re-enters the match for the Colonels. Dare serve. Handled well by the Colonels. Back set, tip over, picked up by Lanik easily. Running Pope. That'll be a block for the Colonels. So blocks from both sides now. Make it a combined 13.5 blocks. There's a, Trinity has 7.5 blocks. I missed where the half block was.
Yeah, both squads definitely executing well at the net. Sets maybe a little bit tight as well. That serve will be long, so quick side out for the Tigers. It's going to be Bryn Bishop subbing in, going back row for Marissa Drange. Tigers back in the lead by 1 point. 3 solid options in the front row. It's going to be Watley, Pope, and Starr. Nice serve. Out of the back row, Beats will send that one long.
Trinity hits double digits first. It's 10-8. Maybe a little surprising that we haven't seen a service ace for the Tigers yet. They still have been serving strong. Little dribbler off the net. Push to Christopher, a block thrown up. Pope and Starr. Starr gets knocked back a little by Hannah Bolanek, despite the height difference. That's how much energy you can pack into a libero, though.
Always exciting when there's a block. Ball is up. It'll go to Christopher on the outside, going cross court. Lanik. Kind of a late call there, but it's going to be Courtney Pope getting called in the net. Tigers still in the lead, 11-9 here in the second set. It's going to be Christopher back to serve, meaning Beats is now back in the front.
Touch by Lanik. They are going to Watley. Watley's attack handled by the Colonels. Out of system attack. It's kept up by the Tigers, but it's a free ball for center. Running the middle, swung out, and no touch called. Trinity goes up by 3. Very fortunate that they did go up by 3. That attack was pretty wicked from the Colonels.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity there for center. A lot of heat coming off of that last swing. Trinity getting lucky with the swing being out. Roll shots picked up. Josie Dare is going to run Courtney Pope, who throws over a tip. A little bit of a scramble here, and center will not be able to get that second touch. Trinity extending their lead. It's going to be Lanik back to serve. Center looking for a side out here as Trinity extends their lead. Tough ball off the tape is passed up. Outside, and that tip from Beats is going to be out wide.
It looks like center will call a timeout. Trinity up by 5 in the second set. Center has kind of been stuck in the mud for the most part. Hitting percentage overall 68. Hitting percentage for this set is negative 150. Colonel's kind of been a tale of 2 sets so far. Yeah, that really looks like they've been poised to take the lead ever since they tied it up 8-8. Trinity, they've just kind of been elevating and elevating, improving. Just a bit high error for center. You can see it there, 16 errors compared to 7 for the Tigers. You're putting yourself in a big hole when you're that high error.
Yeah, center struggling a little bit when it comes to serve receive and maybe not playing as well defensively as they did in the first set. We've seen a couple of trap sets where it's really forcing their outside hitters to have to either tip the ball over, resulting in tips that are out, or we've seen some swings that are just, unfortunately, a little too wide on the perimeter. We'll see if they can minimize those hitting errors. That being said, we have seen some great defensive hustle on both sides, keeping some balls in play that normally we would expect to see fall. Out of the timeout. Center definitely looking for a side out here, but it's going to be Annabelle Landick for the Tigers back there to serve. Throws one over. It's going to be Beats with the initial pass, and then Turner pushing that one through the block. A quick side out of the timeout for center. It's going to send Snowden back to serve.
14-10. So from number 14, Riley Snowden. Running the middle quick. There was no touch. Point for the Colonels. It's a good option out of the middle. Accuracy just not quite there.
Definitely a good look there. Good option. Lauren McCarthy just needing to get a little bit more on top of it. They'll go right back to her, and she'll put that one to the floor.
It's a really important quality for your setters. Xana Verhoff and Conley McWilliams comes in. Even if one of your hitters misses an attack, you go right back to them and let them get that kill.
Yeah, great connections from the setters in the offense for this Trinity squad. A lot of trust. Free ball opportunity for the Tigers. It's going to be Bishop with the initial touch. Back quick. McCarthy pushes another free ball opportunity. Tigers will run Watley on the outside off the top tape. Tight ball here. Annabelle Landick keeping the ball in play. Watley with another opportunity off the block. Out of the back row, Christopher is going to send that one under the net. Tough hitting error there. We'll send Anna Verhoff back to serve for the Tigers.
It's been another thing that the Tigers improved on in the second set. The connection between setter and hitter has just been a lot more solid than that first set. First attack from center is very errant. Point for Trinity. I mean, in that first set, you had Dayer and Verhoff oversetting hitters, missing connections, and this one, it's just been plink, plink, very solid.
Yeah, definitely a little bit more dialed in here in this second set. Verhoff with that initial serve. Right side is blocked by Watley and Lauren McCarthy. Another thing, Trinity block definitely has gotten going in this second set, putting the pressure on this Colonel squad. You're seeing Beats, for example, her hitting percentage falling now only at about 230, whereas she was hitting 1,000 initially at one point in the first set. She'll get an outside opportunity here. Down the line, she will score. Smart shot. Looked like she was going to go cross court and then just turned her wrist. The last second there, it's going to be Chojnatsky and Kondik subbing in for this 6-2 rotation on the Colonel side. Tigers stacked left. We'll see if we potentially see a slide from McCarthy.
Oh, McCarthy keeps it alive. Very fortunate for the Tigers that McCarthy had those quick reflexes. The attack, it will be point for center, call a touch. Coach Jenkins and the entire Tiger side not very happy with that call.
Yeah, it looks like Verhoff isn't arguing it too much. And the Trinity squad in a position where they got some wiggle room, so no arguing there. Off the top tape, Watley with the initial pass. Conley McWilliams coming in on a 2. It's picked up. Outside swing to the floor. It's going to be Beats on the outside.
Now Sid Beats heating up a little bit again, perhaps. Finding some more gaps in the Trinity defense. Another serve for Chojnacki. A tough serve. That's an ace for Chojnacki. It looks like Trinity is poised to take a timeout, and indeed they do. You can always kind of tell when coaches thinking about taking the timeout. Trinity, even though they're up 18-15, a couple points getting away from them, as Chojnacki has kind of been serving heat, keeping the Tigers out of system. Although that first serve, we'll just say a little lucky, because whenever you have a serve go off the net and die on the other side, I don't think you can say you planned that one.
Yeah, definitely putting the pressure on behind that service line. Tigers just needing one solid serve receive here. They've done a pretty solid job in this second set of passing well and leading to strong offensive opportunities, being able to set all three options. Coach Jenkins just doing her part in helping the serve receive squad maybe just have a little bit of a pause here, reset, and dial back in after they step back on out of the timeout. Neither team hitting 200 quite yet. Tigers definitely in a better position to do so, and center still with a good handful more errors than the Tigers. Anybody's set. Center only with a 3-point deficit, but the Tigers looking for a quick side out to really push here in the second.
It'll be important to see how center comes out of this timeout. They have the momentum. But Trinity looking to kill it with that timeout. Chojnacki serves us out of it. Another tough serve. Watley sending over a down ball. It's sent back down by center. Proper attack by the Tigers from Connolly McWilliams. Not falling. Great dig by Lanik. Dump attempt from Bearhoff. Picked up by Panel. They push it out. And Connolly McWilliams and Lauren McCarthy set up right. Got the touch. But it was right over their heads. A bit too difficult to get a proper attack going. Make that a 5-0 scoring run for the Colonels.
Yeah, pretty solid rally there from both squads, but it just really insane serves coming from Chojnacki here. Initial serve out of the timeout had just insane drop at about that 10-foot line, and then that last one with just some serious pace, forcing Bryn Bishop and Watley to communicate quick. Center now down just by 1 point, looking to tie things up at 18. Passed up by Bryn Bishop. Watley on the outside, goes cross court. It's going to be center getting called in the net.
A sigh of relief for the Tigers. Get Chojnacki off the service line. 19-17. Watley back to serve. Chojnacki going to Grundy, a block. Solo block for McCarthy. She rose far above the net to throw that one back down.
Nice one-on-one win for McCarthy. It's going to be Watley back to serve for a second. Ball's up and in. Panel throwing one up for Beats on the outside, going hard off the block. She'll score. So quick side out. It's going to be Beats back to serve with Christopher back in the front.
Beats a strong serve as well. Bearhoff going to McCarthy out of the middle. Impressive dig for Beats to even keep that one in the air, but it's a kill all the same for Lauren McCarthy. Sends herself back to serve. Taylor Starr will be back up front in the middle blocker position for Trinity. For McCarthy is an ace.
Man, a lot of serves hitting this top tape in this match. And lucky for McCarthy, that one coming out on top in her favor. Tigers will extend their lead 22-18 with center calling a timeout here. Definitely wanting to regain some momentum late in this second set.
Your assistant coaches for center, it's just one, Emma White. See Coach Robidoux talking with her. And for the Tigers, a now growing list of assistant coaches for Trinity. At Brett Bullets, Maggie Linker, and Marissa Amarino. Amarino, the newest addition to this Tiger coaching staff that has just been growing and growing in good ways. Coach Bullets has been here for a while, I think nearing 2 decades of work on that Tiger coaching staff. Maggie Linker coming around just under, 5 or 6 years ago at this point. Marissa Amarino, newest addition. Just a strong group over there on the Tiger side.
Yeah, Coach Jenkins gives a lot of accolades to her assistant coaches. And it's definitely helpful to have 4 sets of coaching eyes on this squad. Really can get a full look at the play on the court. It's going to be Lauren McCarthy out of the timeout, back to serve for the Tigers. Center currently down, needing to claw back. Couple of points here if they want a chance at this second set. Off the block, Watley with the dig. Star will tip into the block. Some coverage will keep the ball alive. Marissa Drange on the outside going cross court. A dump. And that'll score.
Call it double.
Oh.
So a dump attempt ends up not working.
I was going to say it was a pretty early whistle if they were going to call that one down. But the ball going in the Tigers' favor. So really strong position here to take this second set. Pass up by Panel. Out of the middle. What a swing from Swartz. That one going pretty much right to the floor there.
Mac Turner back in the middle for center. Riley Barnes to serve. Trinity just 2 away from taking this second set. Bearhoff, quick setting Taylor Starr, and that'll be a kill for the Tigers. Set point for Trinity. Center's got to play perfect. Double substitution for the Tigers. Dayer and Pope back on the court. Quite possibly the most dangerous rotation that the Tigers could have out there for this set point. Yeah, tough ask for the Colonels. Serve from Dayer. Big looping serve. Back row attack. Great dig by Lanik. Out of the middle, and Taylor Starr pings it off a panel. 25-19 is your final score for set 2. Tigers take it. And Jade, that was a much more comfortable set for Trinity than the first.
Yeah, Trinity doing a much better job with serve receive, getting their middles going. Really exciting to see some solid swings from both Taylor Starr and Lauren McCarthy. Tigers also did an excellent job putting up a stronger block, putting on the pressure for those center offense. You saw Beats' hitting percentage fall quite significantly from the first to the second set, so we'll see if she can turn things back up going into the third. But overall, a much better play by the Tigers.
Let's take a quick break on Tiger Network. Stay tuned for set 3. Welcome back to the Tiger Network. See your stats on the screen. Trinity on that second rotation of SAA play. A quick look at the standings for the SAA. Trinity atop of it. They haven't lost yet in conference. 6-0, looking to be 7-0 after this. Barry is next, 7-1. Southwestern had the win over Sewanee tonight in 3 sets, so they'll be 7-1 as well, but Barry beat Southwestern, so they hold the tiebreaker. Then it's Center, Sewanee, Rhodes, Millsaps, Oglethorpe, all kind of similar 3-4, 3-5 records. And it'll be interesting, the SAA Championships hosted by Oglethorpe in Atlanta this year. A very unique court over there, to say the least. They have a black court, which is interesting. It reflects quite a bit of light off of it. We'll see how Trinity fares there. That's where they're heading after this weekend. They'll be off to the Atlanta area to go play at Oglethorpe and at Berry. And while they're at it, they'll pick up a nationally ranked opponent playing at Emory. You know, just your average road trip for the Tigers.
They're used to having to face tough competition with the schedule that Coach Dangus normally puts together. But going into the 3rd set here, Tigers in a solid position for a 3-set sweep. If you're just now tuning in, Tigers took the first 27-25 with that set, going back and forth in points pretty steadily throughout that entire first set. You have 25-19, Tigers executing definitely better there in the second. Momentum was definitely in their hands, majority, if not the entirety of that second set. Center a little bit high error in that second. Hopefully they clean that up going into the 3rd. But both squads appear to be running their same lineups that we've seen across the match thus far. It's going to be Bryn Bishop for the Tigers to kick off this 3rd set with Watley, Pope, and Starr in the front row, Annabelle Anik and Josie Dare in the back, along with Bryn Bishop.
First attack from Center. Great dig by Bishop. They put it over to Reagan Watley. Tool kill for Reagan Watley. Tigers get the first point. Proper setup for Center. Just ball didn't bounce the way they wanted to.
Definitely a nice read there from Bishop with that dig. Her second here is passed up. Beats on the outside, is blocked.
There's block after block after block for the Tigers. They've thrown up 11 of them. And Bishop another serve. Next set. Cross-court push. Gets the Tigers out of focus a little bit. Free ball sent over. Swing out of the middle, and they can't keep it alive that time. It's an interesting move, the cross-court push. It was very effective, though. Trinity was certainly not expecting it.
Yeah, nice hustle there from Josie Dare. A layout. Pushing her pretty much under the net entirely, but kept the ball in play. Passes up by Bryn Bishop. Courtney Pope down the line is dug up by Snowden. Beats, roll shot, picked up. Watley on the outside. A little bit of a miss it, but she'll score with that ball falling center court there. It's going to push Annabelle Lanik back to serve with Lauren McCarthy back on.
3-1 advantage. Coach Shakin saying that she expected a lot more resistance from both Center and Sewanee tomorrow. Rematching a team is always tough. Another cross-court push from the Colonels. Swing from Pope, dug up. Beats, puts it down. 3-2. Another kill for Sid Beats. That's number 15 on the day for her. Maybe a Chojnacki and Maya Kondik. Double substitution for Center on the court now. It's Chojnacki to serve.
Yeah, Beats pretty successful when she's able to get a nice solid connection, turning that one down the line. We'll see if Trinity adjusts at all. Pass by Bishop. Watley is going to throw over a free ball. Pass up by Christopher. Out of the middle, a tip. Watley with the touch. Pope is blocked, and that'll be a point for Center. They'll tie things up 3 apiece. With Chojnacki back to serve.
The serving ball is lost for a moment. Chojnacki recollects. Good first touch by Reagan Watley. The dump from Dare is perfect. 4-3, Tigers up. Anna Verhoff and Connolly McWilliams enter the match for the first time in this third set for Trinity. Verhoff will be back to serve. That was the perfect option to go to.
Yeah, great court awareness there. Really no one in sight to be able to pick that one up. Trinity with a 1-point lead. Anna Verhoff throws one over Christopher with the initial pass. It's going to result in a right side opportunity. Pulling that one off of, looked like more so the top tape than the block, but surely a touch on the block, resulting in a tool. Tying things up at 4-4. It's going to be Beats back to serve with Christopher back in the front.
Touch by Bishop is a nice one. The swing from Watley is sent back. Great coverage by the Tigers. Another swing from Watley. Another block put up by center. Free ball for the Kerns. Chojnatsky running the middle. Very strong hit, but very, very out. Trinity in the lead. Watley back to serve. It is 5-4. Marissa Drange resubs in. Taking the place of Bryn Bishop. Tough serve from Watley. Attack off the antenna. So it'll be another point for Trinity. Another error committed by the Colonels. Error 24 for the Kerns.
Yeah, it's tough. A lot of free points going to the Tigers, and definitely not a squad you want to be giving free points to. That being said, a great connection there. Grundy out of the middle, putting that one to the floor. She'll sub out for Barnes, who we've seen a couple aces from in the match. Tigers with a 1-point lead, looking for a side out here. Ball is up and down the line. Marissa Drange with the initial pass. Connolly McWilliams going cross court, and she will score, going over Beats' shoulder there. And that'll extend the Tiger lead to 2. Lauren McCarthy back to serve.
Panel back in the match for center. Serve from McCarthy. It's tough for center. They're out of system. Free ball for the Tigers. Verhoff going to Taylor Starr out of the middle. It's a strong swing, but kept alive. Out of system attack from Christopher. Nothing doing there. Harley McWilliams gets the kill. So 8-5, Tigers leading. Kill number 4 for Connolly McWilliams.
Yeah, nice placement there. Adjusting her swing, dialing it back a little bit, and allowing that ball to fall. Missed serve from McCarthy. Annabelle Lanik will step back on for her. It'll push the double substitution for the Colonels. It'll be Winfield and Tate stepping back on.
Serve handled by Trinity. It's kept in the back row. Back row attack from Reagan Watley. No good. Christopher swings. Doesn't have it fall. Set close to the net. Has too many touches by the Tigers. It looked dicey off the first touch near the net. Too close for comfort. 8-7, Trinity still leading. Another serve from Maddie Winfield.
Pass up by Watley. Tigers will go to Connolly McWilliams. A touch being called.
Coach Robidoux having some questions about that call. Izzy Dayer and Courtney Pope resub into the match. Robidoux wanting an explanation. Sid Beats will talk with the up official. You can see it on the replay.
Potentially that left hand. Pretty hard to say. Call will stand. It's going to be Josie Dare back to serve. Deep serve is passed up. Christopher on the outside goes cross court. Annabelle Lanik putting up a tough option there, trying to set up Marissa Drange. Probably should have gone to Watley in the back row.
Just a little unfortunate because I think Drange was trying to set up for a run-up, but I don't think she realized that Annabelle Lanik was trying to bump it up to her. They were kind of on top of each other, trying to get out of each other's way.
Serve is good and passed up by Drange. Watley out of the back row off the block will score. Quick side out for the Tigers. They'll be the first to 10, and it'll be Bryn Bishop subbing in for Marissa Drange.
It's kill 11 for Watley. With Bishop back to serve. Center down by 2. Not out of this one yet. Tip over, picked up by Lanik. Back set for Courtney Pope. Kept up by Winfield. Holly Tate's attack, much too soft. Strong swing from Watley, cross court. No touch called, it's out. At least Grundy in the middle position for center with Riley Snowden heading back to serve. Puts it up, and that's gonna be a point for center. Was in the air for a while, thought Trinity might throw over the free ball, but couldn't figure it out in time. So 10-10, center's tied it up.
Couple tough points here back-to-back for the Tigers, but still looking confident out there. Taylor Starr out of the middle. Great save from Josie Dare. Tight pass, she's able to stay out of the net and somehow set her middle effectively there. It's going to send Annabelle Lanik back to serve, so Lauren McCarthy now back on the court. 3 great options for the Tigers. You got Watley, McCarthy, and Pope. Deep serve. Christopher will throw one up for Beats, and that one sails long. You're going to see a touch call on the block, so that will be a point for the Colonels. Push their double substitution. With Chojnacki and Kondik subbing in. Chojnacki seeing some success behind the service line in her couple of outings. Passed up by Bryn Bishop. Watley on the outside. Block coverage will keep the ball alive. Pope with an opportunity going cross court. An over dig. Lauren McCarthy. See a free ball opportunity here for the Tigers. Watley on a 2, mixing in a tip. Smart shot by Watley. Center on their heels, expecting a tough swing there, and just perfect mix in at around 10 feet. It's going to push the Tigers double substitution with Anna Verhoff and Connolly McWilliams back on the court.
Trinity up by 1. Serve from Verhoff. It's a tough serve. It's gone over. Tiger fans want a double. They're not going to get it. Dump attempt sent over. Picked up easily by Trinity. They'll get the kill anyways. Good thing, or else I think the bench might have erupted in rage over the double not being called. 13-11. Verhoff another serve. Chojnacki running her middle. Tigers block it. And Watley does not get the touch. All the Tigers wanting the touch. Get out of jail free card for center. They get the point there. Very strange way to get it. It looked to be a certain Tiger point. Turns it to center, only trailing by 1. Maybe ball don't lie. Serve into the net. There's a Drange will re-enter the match up front. It's Watley serving. Interesting past couple of plays.
Yeah, definitely. Nice, strong, aggressive serve from Watley. It's going to be Christopher on the outside, dug up by Watley. Verhoff will run. Lauren McCarthy scrambling a little bit there, but able to keep the ball in play. Watley will pick up the tip down the line. Drange on the outside will push that one through the block, and that'll be a point for the Tigers. First to 15, up by 3. It's going to be Watley back for her second. Deep flow is passed up out of the back row. Beats will sail that one long. No touch on the block. Tigers extending their lead. And with that, center will call a timeout.
I think a good moment for a timeout, down by 4. And another set where center has played better than they did in the second set, but still not quite threatening the Tigers by taking the lead or gaining any real advantage over them. I mean, the stats look pretty even, but the big numbers, obviously, you can't have 25 attacking errors.
Yeah. With those errors, Trinity just continuing to run with the momentum. These past couple of points have been kind of a scramble on both sides, but Tigers coming out on top. Couple solid serves from Watley. But yeah, like you mentioned, 25 free points to the Tigers, a whole set. It's going to be hard to win with that type of execution. And we have seen a couple of hitting errors in the recent points from center. So looking to clean that up coming out of the timeout. Still in a position to potentially take this set, only down by 4. With neither squad at the 20-point mark quite yet. But out of the timeout, it will be Reagan Watley back to serve. It's going to be Marissa Drange, Colleen McWilliams, and Lauren McCarthy in the front row for your Tiger squad.
It's a center team that was rolling until they got into conference play. An 0-3 weekend. Serve from Watley. First attack from center. Will be successful. Kill out of the middle. Elise Grundy with the kill. Mac Turner will go back up front for center. Riley Barnes will head back to serve. Mentioned their most recent loss to ETBU, Jade. They gave the Marshall Tigers quite a fight in sets 2 and 3. They lost both of them 25-23. Serve into the net. Trinity up by 4. Trinity getting nearly 2 whole weeks off. They haven't played a match in 13 days up to this point, so they are well rested compared to nearly everyone else in the conference who played on their off weekend, including center.
And it helps that they're at home. It's going to be outside opportunity for Christopher. She'll try and turn that one down the line, but Watley is there. Marissa Drange on the outside, pushing that one through the block once again. Really doing a great job of utilizing the block in her favor. It's going to be Lauren McCarthy back to serve for the Tigers with Taylor Starr back in the front. Tigers with pretty solid lead here in the third.
Back from Christopher. Trying the off speed, but picked up by Verhoff. Swing from Connolly McWilliams, sent back the Tigers' way. It's bumped up for Drange, and that would be a kill from Marissa Drange. Waterfalls it between the block and the net. 19-13, McCarthy to serve.
Great job of Drange there. Remaining aggressive despite the inside and tight set. Serve from McCarthy is going to be long. It's going to push the double substitution. Chernatsky and Tate subbing back in. Or excuse me, Winfield. Tate subbing back in.
Winfield serve. 19-14, Trinity with a comfortable lead in this third set. Tough serve. Free ball for the Colonels. Tip attempt. Not going quite where they want it. They'll get another attack off, however. Great dig by Watley. Bumped up for Drange. Drange gets blocked. 19-15. Wasn't a bad option to go to Drange when she's been having that much success. Colonel's getting the better of her this time. Another serve for Winfield. Oh, off the top tape.
Again.
Hey, it's the third ace that's come that way.
Pretty unreal. And most of the time when it's hitting the tape, it's going in the favor of the server. Center down by 3. Still in a position to come back here in the third set, but Tigers in a solid position to take the match. Watley with the initial touch. It's going to be a free ball opportunity. Great hustle there from the Tigers. Out of the middle, Watley with the dig. Verhoff able to put one up for Taylor Starr. Tate on the right side, is blocked. And the Tiger bench is excited about that one.
That's block number 12. Great hustle from the Tigers to get that keep that ball alive. Fighting through the lines judge in that case, who found himself in the wrong spot at the wrong
He
time.
might have had better luck had he just stood exactly on that corner, but he was trying to get out of the way and kind of led to a little bit of a scramble there. Nonetheless, it's going to be Josie Dare back to serve for the Tigers. Tigers at the 20-point mark, just needing 5 more to close out this match. And that'll help an ace from Josie Dare, catching beats in that seam with Christopher.
Be our first ace of the match. Kind of unbelievable to say that because she's been serving well. There is. Something happened in the stands.
One of the fans in the stands, unfortunately, their flashlight was on and they weren't aware. So quick pause there, but Josie Dare will get her serve in, passed up by Beats. They'll go to Christopher on the outside, a block. Some coverage will keep the ball alive. Tate throwing over a tip.
Point for center. See who gets called.
It's going to be Josie Dare getting called under.
That's one of those regulations. No flashing objects from the fans. Also no noisemakers. Like, I question that rule, though, because I have definitely seen bands in the stand, and was a band other than a big noisemaker.
Pass is up. It's going to go to Watley out of the back row. Picked up by Panel. Outside opportunity for Beats. Going cross court. Annabelle Lanik will put one up for Drange, who will go cross court and will score off the hands of Christopher. A little bit of a scramble play there. Lanik to Watley to Drange. It's going to be Bishop back to serve for Marissa Drange. So Watley now back in the front row. 3 solid options, Watley, Pope, and Taylor Starr looking to close out this match.
That'll be an ace for Bryn Bishop. 23-17. Tigers looking pretty poised to take this match. Timeout center. At this point, center can't really afford to trade anything. Trinity in this third set, it just kind of feels like it's been a match where Trinity has needed to get comfortable with a new rotation, and right now, they look about as comfortable as they have throughout this entire match.
Yeah, a different starting lineup, but once they got into the groove of things, it has gone in their favor. Have seen a little bit of back and forth throughout the match, but definitely in the second and this third set, Trinity has maintained the momentum. Center really struggling, again, pretty high air, giving a lot of free points to the Tigers. And when it comes to serving, Tigers are not letting up behind the service line, putting the pressure on the Colonel's serve-receive, forcing them to make decisions as to who's going to take the ball. And it's really pushing the Colonels to only have 1 or 2 options, having to force their pins off of the serve-receive. With that, Center's going to be the first back onto the court, despite being the ones that called the timeout. As the Tigers step back on, it's going to be Bryn Bishop back to serve.
Trinity just 2 points away from sweeping the Colonels for the second time this season. Another tough serve by Bishop. Whistle's blown. Point for the Tigers.
Yeah, similarly there, it's going to be Winfield getting called under the net. Similar to that tight ball that Josie Dare tried to save.
So match point for Trinity. Serve from Bishop. Into the net. Gonna have to wait for one more. We'll see who serves for center. It is Riley Snowden. Going back. At least Grundy up front for the Colonels. Beats and Holly Tate also up front for center. So strong offensive rotation. They're pushing it to Watley. Strong swing, picked up by Snowden. Beats, soft approach. Tigers are laying out to get the ball. No touch called. It is point for center. They have to play perfect. Is Snowden for another serve. Trinity still at match point looking for a nice way to start the second rotation of SAA play. Dayer back set to Pope, and that'll fall. Off-speed approach works like a charm. And Trinity remains perfect in conference play. They sweep Center College. And Jade, really after that first set, it seemed like it was all Trinity from there on out.
Yeah, like we mentioned, once Trinity got into the groove of this lineup, they were pretty unstoppable. Really solid execution when it came to blocking and defense in that second set in particular, and continued that momentum into the third. Even when the Tigers were making errors, there's a lot of smiles out there on the court, and it's always fun to win at home, especially when you can extend your win streak to 7.
And you threw some stats for Trinity. Reagan Watley with the double-double night, 13 kills, 11 digs. What you expect out of the senior at this point in her career. Been so good in both those categories. Marissa Drange with 6 kills. She hit 500 on the night. A lot of those kills just pushing right through the block. Marissa Drange, not someone you generally kind of connect with that kind of power, but she's hit the weight room recently. She's been breaking through all sorts of blocks. Courtney Pope, Conley McWilliams, and Taylor Starr all had 5 kills as well. And McCarthy with 3, and Josie Dayer 1 with the single dump that worked.
Yeah, and huge accolades also to Anna Verhoff, the freshman who's stepping in for whom we normally see Kendall D. Ravel on the court, but had 16 assists, with Josie Dayer having 17. So great execution there from our setters in the 6-2 rotation.
Meanwhile, for center, Sid Beats, 17 kills, had half of the Colonel's kills in this match. Hit 250, was hitting very well, then kind of took a dip and then hit very well again. It's the life of an outside, I suppose. Lise Grundy with 5 kills, McTurner with 4, Holly Tate with 3, Kendra Christopher, Maya Kondik both with 2, and Olivia Chojnacki 1 with her 1-setter dump that worked. Well, for Center College, they will be heading up the I-35 to Southwestern. Play the Pirates tomorrow at noon. Certainly be an interesting match. Center fans, you can find that one on the Southwestern Pirates YouTube channel, because they're on the best platform for streaming sports, YouTube. Meanwhile, for the Tigers, join us tomorrow for when Trinity hosts the mascot ditto of the conference, the Sewanee Tigers. Thought we avoided it by leaving SCAC, so we don't have to play Colorado College. Sewanee comes in and says, nope, we're going to have the mascot ditto matchup anyways. Join us tomorrow at noon for that match. Meanwhile, for everybody in the control room, our camera operators, Jade Schoenberger, and of course our executive producer, Josh Machugemba, and Reed Rosales for the Tiger Network, thank you for joining us. Trinity sweeps Center 3-0. Please tune in tomorrow for Trinity versus Sewanee.
Every morning, we rise, ready to meet our human potential, to take that next incremental step, to do the hard work that changes. Set in our preparedness and confidence in that moment when you know, I've got this. And then we rise. Each of us, all of us. We rise as passions coalesce in research, art, athletics, and beyond. We rise to the challenge of inquiry and discovery through undergraduate research and hands-on learning. We rise through the personal attention of a small college, fueled by large university resources. We rise to the need for listening across differences, teaching the art and the act of conversation. We rise to the sounds of a vibrant, diverse, and culturally rich city, and we reflect it. At Trinity University, we recognize that you are here because you are ready to rise. And through a love of learning and a life of learning, we will challenge you to always reach beyond the horizon. Because your future awaits.